What is up, everybody? It's Big Cheds once again. It's August 24th. I'm just cranking through these spaces. I did 3 spaces, Twitter conversations that I hadn't uploaded yet. And so I'm just getting that done right now. These are just so fun. I just go live. I get hundreds, several hundred of you, sometimes as much as 700 folks. And I bring you on and you ask your questions. And it's just a great conversation. Some of them, a lot of them are repeat questions, but we get a lot of great unique questions. And the conversation that is a result of that, I think, is really instructive, not just for new traders, for old traders. So I enjoy doing these. I will continue doing them. I'm probably going to do at least one more by the weekend, a live one. But this is a replay from 2 days ago on August 22nd. So thank you, folks. Thank you for listening. I'm going to go ahead and get this, upload started right, update started right now. So thank you so much. What's up, everybody? Big Cheds. If you're listening on the replay, thank you. If you're not, you're listening live. Just hang in there. I'm going to get this party started here in just a few minutes. Share via tweet and join my spaces. Come hang out. All right, BTC tweets send out. So what's going on? Listen, I mean, I don't know. I want to hang out and hear what you folks have to say. These are very casual, very fun spaces. We usually get a pretty good audience. I like to bring up pretty much anybody and everybody. If you have a question, if you have a comment, if you want to say something, I want to hear from you. This allows me to, these spaces, they allow me to stay in touch with kind of the sentiment, to hear from you folks about what's going on, how you're feeling. It's also incredibly educational. I love the questions. It allows, well, many of them are hard questions. They offer me the opportunity to try to come up with good answers to these questions. And what I do is I upload these spaces to my YouTube channel. At Ched's Trading. Please consider following me, subscribing to that YouTube channel. I have a playlist there. I actually have 2 more spaces I have to upload even before that. So, but I love doing these. I love the fact that I can just hit a button, go live, and get 3, 4, 500 of you folks just to kind of come hang out with me. It is Monday. It's Monday, August 12th, 2022. I'm Big Cheds. I'm the author of Trading Wisdom, 50 Lessons Every Trader Should Know. You can get that book now on Amazon, Kindle hardcover, paperback, audiobook. You can also get that for free on my YouTube channel, Ched's Trading. Check out the playlists. I'm a founding analyst, Bitcoin Live. Bitcoin Live is legit. It's the best in class educational platform for crypto. I'm part of a team of analysts. It's world class. There's nothing better. And what's great is when you join, you get to go back and look and see what we've been saying over the months and over the years. And you'll see that technical analysis works. If you're really serious about learning how to trade, risk management, TA, I take a lot of pride in what I do. I do a twice a week full market update at Bitcoin Live. No matter what I'm doing, I stop and I do a market report. Even if I'm sick, I'm on vacation, I do one. So check that out. I'd like to hear from you tonight. We often get many folks requesting to speak, and most of the time, I actually get through every single person who requests to speak, which is unbelievable. There's sometimes when I might not get to a few at the end, but if you're just sitting there, whatever you're doing all around the world, and thank you for listening, but whatever you're doing, if you're hearing my voice, you can ask me a question. You can hit that little microphone button in the bottom left, which is like a request to speak type of thing, and you can hear from me, right? You get to hear what I think. You get to ask your question. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be as honest as I can. It may hurt your feelings if you ask me about something. It's a project or a chart that sucks. I'm just going to tell you what I think, but you get to hear from me and I get to hear from you, which is super fun. So I would like you to hit that request button, the microphone request button in the bottom left. I'll get you in the queue. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you up. I'll bring you up into the conversation. And when it's your turn, I'll call on you. So just kind of hang out and wait there. Please just wait until I call you. Don't unmute yourself. I will handle all of that. So right now we only have 5 people, 6 people requesting to speak. It's not good enough. I'm not even going to start. I'm not even going to think about starting. I've got 250 people listening. There's only 6 people who want to say something. That's not good enough. That is simply not good enough. You need to contribute to the conversation. If you're listening to this, you're in the space. You're in the crypto space. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you have to say, what you're thinking. So getting a few more here now. That is great. So I see you folks. Ebram, I see you, man. You're so enthusiastic. Don't worry, brother. I see you. So I'm going to start to bring people up. Please request to speak, especially if I've never heard from you before. That's what I want to hear from you if I've never heard from you before. So I'm going to bring a few of you up here, and please wait until I call you. All right, until
I'm on the phone.
let's see, mute. Let's see, can I mute you? Let's see real quick. Bimo, hold on. Please don't unmute yourself. Please wait till I call you. I'm going to get kind of the queue here. All right, Ebram, you're up first. Ebram Sharif, what's up, man?
What's up, Chest?
Yo.
So excited! It's my first time to be here. No, just kidding.
Yeah, right. You're here every time. You're following me. I know you. I got you.
Yeah. I mean,
What's up?
I'm just here to say hi. It's almost bedtime. I don't have any questions really, except that I wanted to be in
Yeah.
the space today, say hi. And for the folks who are not on Bitcoin Live, I just wanted to give a shout out to the platform. You're there, and there are other very good analysts there, and I think it's a great team. And I've been following the videos from a lot of those analysts, Bob, Peter Brand, and I don't want to go on naming every single one of them because I think all of them are great. You're not paying me to chill your Bitcoin Live. Actually, I'm paying for the service, and I just
I love it.
yeah,
You
and I
pay
just
and you shill. Isn't that great?
yeah. I mean, the service is great,
Yeah, it's
and
really good. It's really good. We know what we're doing, and we're so happy to have you, my friend. It's really great. I appreciate that. It's something I'm proud of, and it's great to hear from you. I'm glad you joined the spaces. What is anything else you got?
Yeah, I don't know. Like
Are
I
you
was
long or
watch.
short here? What's going on? Are you long or short?
Right now I'm mostly in cash actually because
Can I borrow some cash?
yeah, I'm waiting for around 14 to 16K.
Yeah.
If it's not going to happen and I start seeing more bottoming formations, which I don't think we're seeing yet, then I might start going heavy if the market proves that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So maybe the question would be, when do
Yeah.
we know that we're wrong and maybe we're never going to see anything below 18K? Let's say if that happens.
Yeah, below 18K. I mean, we got to flip the daily MA 200. We flipped 28K, and we were kind of getting close to that before we broke down off the rising wedge, and all that. So, I mean, that's still the kind of case. I mean, we get back up above the 200, we start to hold it. I think that would probably be it on the daily, chart. So, but that's a ways away. I think we have some work to do to get back up there. We just had that big breakdown, in the daily chart. We're kind of consolidating. You saw my last report.
Yep.
Where I kind of actually thought we would bounce up to 22.5 and reject, and we haven't even there's not even enough strength to do that yet.
Yeah, I replied to that tweet because I was at least monitoring what's happening in the equities market, and it's bleeding today. And I'm surprised that crypto has managed to hold. I think
But
the
why? But why
bulls.
is it not held up? It dumped over the weekend. Like crypto already had its dump, so it's not like it's really holding up. Like crypto kind of led. Like BTC, like kind of broke down first, didn't it?
You're right. Yep.
So I saw people saying that, but it just didn't ring true to me. It didn't make sense. Because Bitcoin, like, it bled over the weekend. Now equities are catching up. It's not that like Bitcoin's going to take another leg down. It already took a leg down over the weekend, and we're in a consolidation after a move here, some type of a bear flag, bear pennant, bear whatever. So yeah, that's it. Well, good to hear from you, man.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, anytime. Thank you so much. Let's go with our man BMO in the house. BMO, what's going on? What would you like to say, BMO? Be blessed.
Can
Yo,
you hear me?
I can hear him. I've seen you in the notifications. What's going on with you?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Thanks for pulling me up. Quick, this is probably a simple, stupid question,
No
but
stupid question. Hey, hold on real quick. Guys, there's no stupid questions. Hit that request button. There's literally no stupid questions. There are none. So go ahead. Fire away.
all right. So on the 19th, when we dumped really hard, you switched to lower time frames. Is that
Yes,
because
100%.
is that
100%.
is that because the price moved away from the moving averages where you were untethered from your positions?
You've been in these spaces, right?
Yeah.
And do you remember what I say like when people ask me about time frames? I've said if Bitcoin drops $2,000 by the end of the spaces, you want to drop to the 1 hour chart. And it's like literally what we did. Like after volatility, you drop to the low time frame. When the price is at a key level, you drop to the low time frame. It's super ABC.
No,
Uh,
I know it's ABC, but why do you do that? Is it because your point of reference is the
because
moving
the channel's
averages?
broken. The channel's broken, and you're looking a little bit closer to hopefully get an early edge on what the trend might be doing, but also to look for relative strength across the market. You want to look at what Bitcoin's doing on the 1 hour, then kind of look at like what CHZ, TRB, QNT, some of the Ethereum Classic, some of the stronger stuff are doing as well. So it's just that's just the rule of thumb in classical charting because the channel is broken. It's just after volatility, you look for low time frame because whatever the paradigm was before has changed. Whatever the dynamics were before have changed, and
Okay.
you've broken out of that channel. And we're like pretty deep below the lower Bollinger Band. I mean, that's a time when you're probably going to bounce at least back to the EMA 8, and that 1 hour will give you often something to work with. After big volatility, but it's pretty high risk, honestly. High
Yeah.
risk, but if you're looking to trade, that's kind of what you have to do. You have to work with what's there. I mean, you're not looking at 1 hour when there's no volatility, when it's still in like a daily
Yeah.
channel. But after it breaks down, kind of almost all the rules, a little bit of the rules are off. Whatever you had been, whatever was before it's changed. Like you've broken down. We broke down for the wedge. We lost the higher low on the daily chart. We're in a little like the dynamics have changed now. So now we're looking closely to see what the new dynamics will be.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Thank you, brother. All
Good
right,
to
man.
see you. What's up, Tony? Good to see you, man. Tony, what's going on?
What's up, big church?
You.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine tonight.
Yeah. Okay. So, quick question: are you long or short here?
Oh, I'm short from 25, brother.
Oh, well, because I just saw ETH just reclaimed on 1,159. I think we still get like a short squeeze before we go back down. What do you think?
Well, what's the most important level to watch in the Ethereum chart right now?
I think one six
What is that? A
one
fib
600.
level? You're talking about like a dollar amount, or
Yeah, I feel like 1,600s.
no, none of that matters. None of that's important. What have you seen my tweets on Ethereum for like the last month?
Yeah, I've been following it for a while.
Yeah, brother. I mean, look at the chart. What is the most important level in the daily chart? And it's been the same level since April. It's been the daily MA20.
Mhm.
Okay, that's where the price rejected in April, in
Mhm.
May, in June. And then we flipped it, and it was support. It was support, and we just lost it. So now that's the only level that matters is daily MA20. It's like, can we flip it again? If we bounce to it, you're going to want to take a short. All this other
Mhm.
stuff is lower confidence levels you're talking about, like these six, whatever. None of that's important. It's just
Mhm.
daily MA20. Like that, the price has told us that's the level to watch. So we need to stay focused. We need to take what the price is giving us as far as obvious clues, and it's the daily MA20. So that's the only thing. It's the alpha and omega about Ethereum right now is the daily MA20.
All right. Besides that, I've been in your spaces like quite some time. Just wanted to thank you for how much value you bring to the crypto community and everything like that.
appreciate that. It's heartfelt. And I want to say thank you to you for stepping up. There's hundreds of people listening right now who are not requesting to speak, and they're just listening. But you stepped up. You asked a question, so thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Crypto boat. What's up, boat?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm hanging. What you got for me?
Yeah, it's like my regular questions.
Which one?
I just want to ask you about the daily close today.
Yeah,
Is it the same as the
on Bitcoin.
26th? Yeah, Bitcoin. Yeah,
Yeah.
26th of July.
Of what? What day?
26th of July.
26th of July.
Yeah, and today's
26th
close.
of July. It's not even close.
It's not close, right?
What are you talking about? The 26th of July was a I mean, it's a similar candle, but it moved down.
Oh, okay.
This is within like a bear flag or a bear pennant. It's not the
Okay.
same context. You have to look at context. No, it's just not not even close to the same.
Okay. Thanks very much, sir.
Thank you, bro. Listen, anyway, keep at it. Good to see you. We'll see you next time, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Sometimes I'm blunt. It's not like I just look, I don't have time to tell you. I don't have time to I'm not here to lie to you. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. I've been doing this a long time. I was a noob. I now am a little bit better than a noob, and I have a long way to go, just like everybody else. But I'm not going to it's not even close. But anyway, good to see that guy. One Truth, what is up?
What's up, Big Chats? How you doing, bro?
Nice to see you again. What's
You
going
feeling
on?
good? How you feeling? Good?
Yeah, a couple glasses of wine. I get some nice from the dry vape, and hanging out.
I'm right with you with the IPA in my dry vape. So right on, bro.
What can I do for you, sir?
Couple of questions for you. So on the daily, we've got that nice rising trend line that was support.
Bitcoin daily.
The Bitcoin daily, correct?
Are you talking about like the lower boundary of a rising wedge? Is that what you're talking about?
So the rising trend line that was acting as a support line, basically, it's bouncing, and it just broke through that line to the downside.
You're kind of connecting. You're connecting like July 13th. You're collecting July 26th, and then maybe the August 10th low, and kind of drawing
exactly.
Okay.
And then it just dropped through that trend line. So what I've noticed sometimes when drawing that type of a trend line and it drops through, then if the price comes up and then that same trend line becomes resistance, then that's trouble. It's
a great topic. So listen, this is why. So there's a couple things, and I'm glad you brought it up. First of all, a trend line. There is no line. There's actually only a trend. So It's not about the line, it's about the trend. And the trend is describing a generalized area of rising demand or more support rising. And there's a filter around it, right? It's not about like people that get hung up on, do I draw it on this wick or the body? That doesn't matter. It's about you're described like as a zone. It's not the line, it's the trend. You're just identifying a trend, right? So there is no line, there's actually just a trend. Number one. Number two, if you flip it upside down, that's why you don't go long on a diagonal trend break, because you can come back and retest it all the way down to zero. Okay, that's why you want to structure your trades based on horizontal, price zones, because you can very clearly be bullish above or below. I think it's unlikely we're going to bounce and retest that trend line. I think it's unlikely. I think we're back to EMA 8 being resistance. It was a breakdown. This was a breakdown that was a couple weeks in the making. And, I think if we get to what you want to be watching is not the trend line, it's 22.5. That was the higher low that failed. It had confluence with the daily 50. It was the, look at on the daily chart candle from July 8th. And you look at that top, that was also the low, from August 4th, 22.5. Like that's the resistance. That's where it's going to reject if there's enough strength to bounce up there. But it doesn't look like it even has that much strength at this point. This thing's it's pretty cooked.
Yeah.
I love to be wrong, but it just looks pretty cooked to me. But I wouldn't play the diagonal I don't think that would take a lot of strength to get back up to that diagonal. I think that ship has sailed.
Right. Yeah, I was looking at it more for it on the underside, and just like it just kicks right off of that. But it hasn't even gotten back up there yet.
Well,
So I
but
get that.
that would be like 25K. I mean, you'd have a lot of. It's the same concept in reverse. If it was going down and you're going long on a like a diagonal line coming down, you can retest it to zero. Well, in this case, you could retest this to 500K Bitcoin if that was your diagonal. So
Right.
just focus on but that doesn't matter. It's high or low.
Yeah.
It's high or low structure 22.5. All right, brother.
Cool. Now, can I get one more for you?
Real quick. I got a big audience, but go real quick.
All right, cool. Do you ever like feel like you want to just play weekly and daily and forget all of like the little stuff and just like go for the bigger time frame, so all this like little back and forth is less significant in your brain?
Yeah, that's how I am now. It's not that I do ever. That's exactly how I approach it, and it's a good point. Yeah, definitely. Okay. That's how I do it. Every trade I make on a 4-hour, 1 hour is understanding the context of the daily, and the daily lets me know essentially how much I have to micromanage my stop loss. The daily is the trend. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right.
Cool, man. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you for stepping up. Folks, please request. I want to hear from you on Big Cheds on Twitter. If you're enjoying this, please go to YouTube and subscribe to Cheds Trading. It's a ridiculous grind. But we're having fun. There's tons of great material on there. Here on Twitter at the top of the tweet, textbook recommendations, video recommendations, stuff like that. Let's see who's next. Which one? Ibrahim, I'll get you next. I'll taste you. You'll be after that. Ibrahim, what's going on?
Hello, Chats.
Hi.
Can you do? What is your forecast on Dixie? Can you do
it's
some?
It's super bullish.
Super bullish. What is your?
People looking at it like a double top, but 2/3 of double tops fail. 2/3 of double bottoms fail, right? Because trends tend to continue. So whether it pauses here and comes back and catches support in the EMA 8, it's most likely to break through and continue higher. I mean, you just go with what's the most likely. I mean, how it gets there, what the path might look like, we'll see. But my best guess is the trend will continue because trends tend to continue.
Right? Until when? When do you see the topping date?
Don't know. There's no way. I'm a little more level to level than some other people. I'm not skilled enough. There's some better, more talented perhaps forecasters. I mean, you've got major resistance in the 118, 119 level. Really from 115 to 119, you've definitely got resistance. You go back to the 2000 levels, you got to drop the weekly chart. You've clearly got, I mean, that's clearly in the next level, right? There's no question about that. Just go look at, 2000, 2001 levels. That's what's up next. And you have to watch the price interaction with that level.
Do you think on September the Fed will pivot on the interest rates?
No idea. Wrong guy to ask. I don't know anything about that stuff. All right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Tasty Curl. It's great to hear from you. What's going on?
Hey, Cheds. Thanks for having me.
Sure. What's up tonight?
So I was wondering if you thought that so ES is approaching its support level at 4,125.
Yes. Oh, futures. Yep. Yeah. Hold on. Let me just 1 second, brother. Bobby, let me mute you. Okay. Let me handle. Guys, let me handle the mute and unmute. I appreciate that. If I bring you up, please let me handle the audio. I do appreciate that. So ES, right? I don't really track ES, but I track SPY and all that, et cetera, et cetera. But please continue.
I was wondering if you thought that it would bounce off the support and create a double top, like at 4,270 around.
Let's say it's what are we at? Like around 4,150?
Yeah.
No, I mean double top where?
At the next resistance level, which is like 4,270.
4,270. I mean, I'm looking at weekly. Let me go to daily. Sorry, I was on the weekly from the last question. I mean, look, it's got underside MA200 rejection. That's no joke. So you got to deal with that. 43.25. I mean, it's just MA200. I mean, you're talking about the early June highs, right? Around 4,200. That's something. But I think just MA200. That's where the price just rejected. You want to keep an eye on that. It's clearly starting to roll over. And you could draw a trend line. I'm not a huge trend line guy, but you can take the December 21 highs, March 22 highs, and then, the August highs, and you've got a trend here, right? So, you want to look for a break of that trend, but to confirm it, really over 43, kind of over 4,300, 4,320, 4,330. I think we're looking at a nice bounce, for risk assets. But that's what has to happen first.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. It's good to have you. Up next, we have Aram. What would you like to say, Aram?
What's up, Cheds?
Yo.
A couple weeks ago, some news came out in the morning about VE Chain, and I believe you faded at initial pump and closed out in profit just like an hour or so later. I don't know if you remember that.
Say it again. I apologize.
That's all right. A couple weeks ago, it was some news came out about VE Chain.
Was that Ven?
Yeah. No. VET.
VET. Vet. Oh, that's such a dog, right?
Yeah. So, and some news came out. It pumped like really quick. I think you faded it.
Of course.
So my question is, because I had done the same with Chili's like a week earlier.
Yeah, CHG, that's the best, one of the best charts right now.
Yeah, at the time, it pumped. I faded it. I got out with a small profit, and then since it's gone way up, of course. But I guess my question is, like in the event of VeChain and the price moving up so quickly, how did you determine when was the right time to jump in and fade that initial pump?
It really bounced right to the top. So you can look at it, just supply and demand. And you look at when the price pauses and consolidates for a while and then eventually continues down. If it bounces back up, like that creates a zone. So you look at the daily chart in VET. First of all, it's a downtrend. So you're looking to fade any bounce. You're like, this thing sucks. And I feel bad because then like good people believe in these projects. I've learned there's no such thing as a project. Research is nonsense. They're all just vehicles for speculation. Right. And it's about recognizing like if the trend is up or down, right? And there's no real there's no reason to ride something down. It's trending down. Why would you ride something down? Right. But in any case, VET, if you look at the consolidation cluster from middle of May through middle of June, do you kind of see that zone from like 0.027 to, like 0.034?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's resistance because that was support that broke. So when you had a pretty good bounce and it bounced right to the top of the range and it was testing like, May 23rd candle and it was testing like the May 31st high. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's where you start to look for lower time frame candle weakness. I'm looking at the daily, but if you go to like probably 4 hour, I bet there was some spectacular signal like an up thrust or whatever, like a failed ascending triangle or a failed, bull flag or whatever, something. All right. On lower time frame. That's a good example of when you would drop to lower time frame when the price is at a key level. Because if it starts to get above, 035, you're starting to think, okay, maybe, bulls are going to do something here. Although you did have other resistance just above, MA 200. But that's a spot where if you're looking to short a downtrend that just bounced, that's where you'd be looking pretty close.
All right. That makes sense. I appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for stepping up tonight.
You bet.
I'm Big Chad's on Twitter. Please consider following me if you're not already. Please go to YouTube. Subscribe to Chad's Trading. That would make me really happy. I've got tons of free alpha. Like if you're into trading, you're nuts if you haven't watched every video I have. The masterclass webinar tutorials will teach you how to trade. Free version of my book, Trading Wisdom playlist. You've got my market updates where I explain my tweets. You have the Spaces playlist where it's just conversations with me and like regular folks like you talking about what it's like to trade. My long form interview series, I just interviewed Peter Brandt. It was unbelievable. So you're kind of crazy if you haven't watched my YouTube videos. Bobby, and by the way, sorry, Bobby. By the way, please hit request. I want to hear from you. I'd love to hear you, especially if we've never talked before. I'm not shy. Please don't be shy. We're just talking. All right. So hit that little microphone button in the bottom left. I want to hear from new people. Bobby, what's up, Bobby?
Chez, what's up, brother? How are you?
K Anda. What's up, man?
Hey, my question is for scaling in and out of trades. I know you mentioned, especially if you're a newbie, let's say you have $1,000 to spend, buy $200 worth and then another $200 worth and then another $200 worth. My question is, do you ever hedge your bets and long and short at the same time while you're scaling in and out? And
yes and no. Yes and
okay.
If it's at like a key pivot level, Like I have shorts from 25K, but I took some shorts. I took some longs at like 21.4, and I got stopped out at break even on that. I took some longs at 21.4 just in case we rallied to 22.5 and then flipped it. And I have stop losses on my 25K shorts staggered in the 22 range, 22, 4 to like whatever 23K if someone wants to come stop me out. But I'm not just going to always take a what's called the straddle. I'm not just going to like every trade. I'm not going to take long and short. That will only work when the price is at a really key pivot level, like Uniswap or whatever. It just had like if you look at the daily chart, like 820 to 820 was like a really big level. So that's the level you might take a long and a short at. Because either going to throw back or bullishly retest off the the MA 200 and the the horizontal support, or it's going to reject there, and you have a very clear invalidation for a short. So if you're going to do that, it has to be at a very key level, important level.
Awesome. Thanks, brother. I appreciate everything that you do.
Thanks for hanging out. All right, Chantal, good to see you. What's going on, Chantal?
Hi, Big Chuds. How are you?
I'm not doing bad. How are you?
And hi, everyone else. Thanks for hosting another spaces. That's awesome. So, really quickly, I have a question. So I've been in crypto since October. Told you that before, and just really learning more technical analysis since June.
Good.
So, and your interview with Peter Brandt was brilliant, by the way.
Oh,
absolutely,
I was so
brilliant.
honored. I couldn't believe it, and he was excited to talk to me.
He was. He genuinely was, and had genuine respect for you.
That was amazing. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. So I'm really thankful.
Yeah, 100%. And an experience. It was a really great. So what my question is right now is more about the RSI. So I'm learning to trust the daily. So where I get confused about holding my trades is, for example, I'm looking at the daily. The daily's on an upward trend, but the 4-hour, the 8-hour, the 12-hour are coming down. So then I'm like, do I hold it or do I wait? Or like right now, the daily's going up, the weekly's bending and coming back down. So, and then we have the macro conditions, the Dixie flying up. So it's like, if the daily's going up, but there's all these other macro conditions. So sometimes I'm getting really confused about whether to hold it. Like I got it at ETH at 1900. I got back in at 1700. And like I'm out completely right now. Because so that's what my question is, more or less. Like I feel like trusting the daily, if it's on its way up, no matter what, it's going to keep going. It's going to go up until, right? Like, or if it's on its way down, that, okay, let's say you're in the minus $100. Well, the price is eventually going to come back down if it's on a downward trend. So, because I don't like scalping, I don't like watching my phone 24/7 in anxiety. I just want a range trade.
So look, if you don't like watching your phone, you should really be daily at the lowest time frame.
Right. Maybe I want a range trade.
You do or don't?
No, I do. That's what I think I would prefer.
Wait, so you want a range trade, but you don't want to watch your phone? I mean, what is that? I mean, you got to pick a side of the railroad tracks here.
Well, more like the 1 hour, 4-hour daily. I don't want to be scalping, watching my phone, like 24/7.
Yes. So let me address that. It's a great topic, and it's great to hear from you. And
okay, thank you.
I'm glad you enjoyed the interview. Thank you so much. And just real quick, I just had a couple people jump up to speak, and I had to remove them because they kept unmuting themselves. You need to let me, as I've requested, every space, please let me handle the muting and unmuting. If I mute you and you keep unmuting yourself, I'll have to remove you. So you got to play by the rules. So Chantal, time frames, the longer the time frame, the stronger the signal. And you need to, for me, I tend to trade off like a 4-hour more than anything, but I'm trading off 4-hour knowing what the daily is doing, and the daily is within the weekly. And it's an interesting time frame right now because if you look back, it's been confusing. Bitcoin's been really confusing. I teased out a clip from my Bitcoin Live video from August 17th, August 14th. Where were we? It was August 14th. And I was like, well, the daily looks pretty good here, actually. We were closing back above the weekly EMA 8. It was the first. It was only the third time, since the November top. Then I dropped to the daily, and I'm like, but there's some really weird, some bad warning signs here on the daily chart. These upper shadows, the bearish divergence, the outside bar. I mean, there's stuff you can't really ignore.
Right.
But it was a lower time frame than the weekly. And so it's like, well, wait a minute, what do I do here? You have to try to, it's just all context. And if you're being studious, if you're being diligent, you can look at the weekly chart in Bitcoin and see how we had just we were barely above the weekly EMA 8 back in March and February, March, April, right? We know we're in the sideways mode like we were back in February, March, right? Because when we started to grab the EMA 34. And so you had to kind of be on guard for the similar weekly price actions we had back then, where we only closed above the 8 for a couple days. So even though, normally you might think, oh, wow, we're above the 8 and we're going to continue on the longer time frame and maybe not pay as much attention to the daily. But that daily signal, I've never seen triple bearish divergence with the OBV, right? OBV on balance volume, it's an index oscillator. It's tallying up the volume in the green and the red candles. It should confirm the trend. When you make a higher high in price, if the OBV doesn't confirm it, you want to start to, be careful. Double negative divergence, you're really paying attention. But triple's ridiculous. And I think if you think about it, Ethereum kind of held Bitcoin up with hype over the merge. And I think that allowed Bitcoin to kind of almost defy the technicals. I mean, that was a really weird chart. I don't think I've ever seen that. So,
right. For the relief rally, the daily and the weekly were up, and that's what we got the relief rally. Unless I'm really learning to trust the daily, like whatever direction that
daily's good. Bitcoin does really well in like daily and 12 hours, Chantal. So focus on that. I wouldn't go below 4 hour. You're gonna get moved around a lot. So anyway, thank you so much. It's good to hear from you.
That was a helpful question for others too. So.
That was a great question. Okay. All right. Go Canada. All right.
Okay, good night. Bye.
Yeah, that's great to hear from you. Adam, we'd like to hear from you next. What's going on, Adam? Adam McMillan. And folks, please hit request. I'd love to hear from you. We're just hanging out.
Awesome.
Hit that little microphone button. We'll bring you in. And please wait your turn till I call you. Adam McMillan, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yo.
Hey, am I coming through?
I hear just fine tonight. What's going on?
Okay. How are you doing tonight? Thank you for calling me into the space. I actually tagged you in a tweet this morning and got a response from you, which was kind of a surprise to me.
Was that nice or not? That's the most important part.
Yeah. I'm on your side, and it was nice. It was nice.
Good. Okay, good. I never know because you can. I'm human.
Right.
And you can catch me in a bad moment, or I think you're challenging me in something. I'm human. I have an ego. I may say something stupid. So I'm glad it was nice.
It was very nice. I was just wondering your take. It kind of took me off guard a little bit for somebody of his caliber.
Was it the delete RSI? Was it that one?
No, it was where he claimed the 200-day moving average was non-related to trend.
That's really interesting. That's that guy gentleman who does Spaces. He's actually invited me on as a guest, and I know he's really well respected. And
he's got some really good papers out that I found interesting. But that claim that he made, and I don't know if you've seen his response to me. He just wanted to point out the statistics of volatility.
That's just different. I mean, his statement is partially. I mean, there's some truth to it, but if you're saying it doesn't tell you anything about the trend, I'll have no problem. I'll have no problem defeating that argument.
Right.
But it's a question of is he raising an interesting point, which he is, and he's doing it in his way. I mean, when you make a declarative statement like that, like the 200 MA tells you nothing about the trend, I'm going to jump on that because that's ridiculous.
And that's why I knew to tag you. Out of everybody I follow, who's pretty big.
I'm like, listen. You're like telling me I'm not breathing air right now. But it led to him asking me if I wanted to be a guest on his Spaces. So I mean,
and that made me happy. I kind of felt I was like, wow, look, I kind of caused some positive conversation that might take place. So that felt good.
Well, I want to say thank you for that. Then, all right.
I appreciate that. So. Yeah. My one question would be, I guess to top it off and to be quick, do you if the price is under the 200-day moving average on the daily time frame, are are you ever against the trend and maybe try to catch a bottom knife or something like that? Or are you just really going to ride that trend as long as it's under the daily 200 moving average?
So let's take and I stepped away from my computer for a half a minute here, but let's take the SHIB chart, right? SHIB is a downtrend, but SHIB had a very clear horizontal level. So I would play like inverted head and shoulders that just confirmed if it's below the 200, definitely. But I'm not going to randomly buy weakness. Okay.
Okay.
I'll buy a clear pattern that just completed, ideally with a very well-defined horizontal level. But I'd rather take that trade in an uptrend. But if I'm going to play a downtrend and it's got a really clear level, I'd play something like that.
So you would be
All right.
looking more at horizontal levels per se than a bullish engulfing candle or a bullish hammer setup. Those wouldn't necessarily
You can't put
convince.
those in the same. You can't put those in the same category. Japanese candlestick signals are short-term signals. That might only get you a mean reversion to like the EMA 8 or maybe MA 20 if you're lucky.
Right.
That's not like the completion of multi-week consolidation channel. We're talking about a head and shoulders, 3 thrusts with a well-defined, ideally a horizontal neck base or an Eastern triangle like Ethereum. You can't compare a bullish engulfing to that price structure we just saw on Ethereum. But that was a beautiful bottoming, chart. So that's what I would say to that. Great to have you up here today, and man, thank you for setting up that conversation. Hit me up later, okay?
Thank you very much, man. You have a great evening.
You too. Thank you, Adam. It's great to hear from you. NZH crypto. Oh, sorry, Sean. I'll get you next. NZH, what's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm all right. What's up with you?
Yeah, I've been in crypto for a little over a year. I haven't really paid attention to the technicals much. I was just following a bunch of YouTube channels.
Which ones?
Oh, big jelly fella, big jolly fella. I think BitBoy.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry about. Yeah, I learned my lesson, but
That's cool.
I'm trying to learn. Yeah, I'm trying to learn technical analysis, and
yeah.
Ever since that CPI came rating in early August, that was lower than expected. The market's kind of been pumping, and a lot of TA guys have been saying, "Oh, we have a chance to touch 28K."
Yeah, totally. Until we broke down. That's over.
Yeah,
we just lost higher low structure.
Yeah, and obviously considering the last week price action, that's a pipe trade now. But do you see within this weekly time frame, we have a chance to at least touch 25 again, or we don't have strength?
This week?
Yeah.
I'd say it's 7-1 against.
Oh.
If you were just asking, yeah, we just had a huge breakdown. If we can bounce to 22.5, that's like a 75% rejection there. All right, at least 2 out of 3 rejection at 22.5. If we can even bounce there.
Oh.
So I mean, you look at price. Hey, have you watched my webinars yet on my YouTube?
I haven't, but I will.
That's the next thing you do until you put another dollar in the market. All right, go watch my webinars. Come back to the next space and ask me questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Guys, you got to go. If you're trading and you haven't watched my YouTube channel webinars, like that's ridiculous to me. Like, it's ridiculous. You got to take advantage of the free alpha out there. Sean, thanks for being patient. And folks, there's only about 10 of you asking to speak. You have to request. I want to hear from you. There's hundreds of you listening and not speaking. Hit that microphone. Just come up and say hi. Sean, what's going on, man? Thanks for being patient.
Hey, Chaz. Good morning from Australia, mate. Just had a bit of a question about buying horizontal breakouts. Been getting chopped up quite a lot when I'm sort of attempting it. If I'm on a daily chart, for instance, I'm looking at a support resistance flip.
Yeah.
I'm just starting to break out above it. And then what point really would you, what would invalidate that idea for you as to, should I jump out or should I let it go?
Listen, so it's a great question. And by the way, good morning. And I love talking to people all around the world. I'm out here in the Eastern U.S., you're in Australia. We got people all around the world. We're hanging out. What would invalidate? First, your stop loss is when your idea fails. So if you can't define your idea, how can you define when the idea fails? So that's point one. It can't be too loose a zone. Ideally, we're talking about something that bounces, rejects at 100, drops to 80, bounces to 100, drops to 90, bounces to 100, drops to 93. And it comes back and it's right back up to 100. We can go long when it breaks that 100 because we know what our idea is. Our idea is that we're long above 100. Right now, we get back below 93. You got to get out. You lost higher low structure and you failed to hold 100. So that's a pretty easy one to define. It's not always that clean. Are you whatever time frame you're taking your trade on? That's the time frame your stop loss should be on. Weekly, daily, 4 hour, whatever. So you have to pick your time frame based on your risk threshold and how much time you have to watch it. And you have to just remember, too, the market's going to stop you out. I mean, you look at what just happened with the double outside bars. It was really hard to get short between like August, 13th, 14th, 15th. It was really hard. Unless you just play the very simple, psychological level 25K, above or below. So, you just got to think about you're invalidating your idea fails, and just be really confident in what your idea is. Then you'll know like when that idea fails.
I'm just looking like as an example, 18th of July when Bitcoin broke above that horizontal.
Which day?
It came back down. 18th of July.
Yeah.
So it came back down even on a 4 hour chart and wicked through that ETOS level 3 times before finally carrying on above it.
Yeah. It looked like it was going to stop there. Yeah, that was pretty nasty. You had the up thrust the day before. But you know what though? If you look at the daily chart, it still held the daily EMA 8.
Yeah.
So that was a sign of strength. It was above the daily MA 20 at that point. We had higher lows in play. You just got to be agile, and you got to expect the market to make it really hard for you. So always be looking for the market to trick you. It's like your buddy who you hang out with, but he's always doing shady things. You just got to kind of keep an eye on it. All right.
Great. And just a quick one.
No, real quick. We got a big room. Real quick, Sean. It's good to hear from you.
With SHIB at the moment, it blasted up, it came back down, and retested.
Which one? SHIB? Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's just kind of sitting under daily EMA 8 resistance. Would you still look to buy a throwback here, or
1270? You're bullish above 1270. Whatever that is, 1270 level.
Great. Right. Thanks, Ted. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
Thanks. Good to hear from you. Let's see. Let's get through the crowd. It's great to hear from you. I'm glad some of you folks did step up and ask to speak. Mama, what's going on, Mama?
Hey, hello, Chats. What's up?
What's up with you, man?
Yeah, this is my first time of coming on the space, so thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
Quickly, I just want to talk about the Bitcoin chart on the weekly time frame. I've looked at the chart and then looked at the previous cycles, and somehow I kind of seen a lot of indicators that are showing us that we may actually be at the bottom now, because I've looked at the RSI and found out that in the past cycles.
Stop using RSI.
Okay, the RSI on the weekly time frame, whenever it hits 30, thereabouts around 28 to 30, as usually marks the bottom.
But what's the big difference, brother? When it hits 30, it's on its way towards 20, right? There's a big difference between buying at 30 and buying at 20. How does it get to 20? You have to have some severe price devastation from 30 to 20 on the weekly RSI. Stop these oscillators should never be used to. First of all, you should never, ever, never use these oscillators to generate a trade idea. You should only use them to confirm it. And so, what are you confirming? There's no price structure that's confirming a bottom or even close to it right now. All right. You just got to hope that it holds on the support retest of like 18, 19K. That's like what we're looking at right now.
Exactly.
RSI costs people so much money. I'm doing a video with Chartman Dan, who's Chart Guys on YouTube. If you haven't checked this guy out, he's really good. Twitter and YouTube. and he uses RSI a lot. But you have to be really good to know how to use RSI. That's the problem. It's one of those things where there's this huge learning curve, and like 90% of people who use it, it costs them money because they're using it. They're buying because RSI just hit 30. I'm selling because
Yeah,
RSI just hit 30.
I understand.
You know what I
I
mean?
get your point.
Yeah,
Yes, I
brother.
get your point. But I'm also looking at it, combining with some other indicators, and you look at the MACD on the weekly, you look at the money flow index,
Stop
everything, and
using
then
that
you look at
stuff.
the
What is that? Stop using any of that. Talk to me about price. Those things
okay.
are all derivatives of price. And they're
Yeah,
gonna fool you more than not. What are you seeing in the price in relationship to major support and resistance? MACD, MFI, these things are gonna lead you astray, brother. Trust me.
I'm looking at 18K. I think
Yeah,
if we're able to stay above 18K with the structure the way it is now, what do you think?
that's reasonable. Very reasonable. And I could see someone buying at 18K, completely reasonable. But you don't
Okay.
buy here because the MACD, whatever, or the whatever. You could buy at 18K because your idea fails if the price goes below 17.5. Like every time you enter a trade, you need to articulate when that trade idea fails, and like oscillators don't do it for you. All right.
Yeah, I get you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
brother.
much.
Great conversation. Thank you. Good to hear from you. That was really good. All right, let's get through. I'm gonna churn through these. It's great to have everyone requesting. You hang in there. I'm gonna get to you. Please wait till I call you. Let's see. DGen Moons, what's up?
Hey Cheds, what's up, man?
Hi.
Hey, I just came up because you were saying come up and say hi and whatever, and I love talking with you. So I said, you know what, I'll just come up. I mean, my trade right now is I'm just waiting, bro. I'm in cash. I feel great.
Smart.
No stress, dude. It's really all thanks to you. I'm not even like blowing smoke up your ass. Like the
Very good.
spaces you're doing has helped me put everything, all the other work you've done, all the other streams I've watched of you on everyone else's channels, over the past 5 years. Like the spaces just the questions I was able to ask put me in the right spot, and like it's amazing. Like I'm no stress, I'm just waiting, I'm helping my friends. It's great. So shout outs to you, man. And I just wanted to say hi, and I'm also out here burning a little something. So for all the stoners out there, just know you can make it.
Hey,
Through
kumbaya, dude. Listen, it's great. We're all in this together. So I love the feedback, and space is amazing. Like just being able to talk to people and being able to humanize it. It's hard to kind of calculate the value of that. So it's just been great.
Exactly. For sure. I'm looking forward to you on that other space. So I'll keep my eyes
Yeah.
peeled for that.
Yeah, I'll have to put on a suit first.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Thanks,
All right,
man.
peace, man.
See ya. Good talking. That was good. So what's up, Lib Tech? What would you like to say, Lib Tech? It's your time to shine, Lib Tech.
Sorry, first time I'm talking. Big Cheddar,
All
how
right.
are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. Good to hear from you. What's going on? Oh, by the way, sorry, real quick, folks, make sure Twitter has access to your microphone. Sorry, go ahead, Lib Tech.
Yeah, first time. I just clocked it, yeah. So first of all, Big Cheddar, how you doing?
I'm doing really good. I just had like a nice dinner with my wife and her friends, and I'm chilling in the man cave. I'm hanging out with you guys, so I'm doing pretty good.
Cool. Right, big hello to everyone else. I'm from the UK. I've been trading since 2015. I've been in the space for quite some time. Have communication with Ched, but I've got two questions for you, Ched. And
Do one, brother, if you don't mind. I'm managing my energy and everything. Just whatever you'd most like to ask.
All right, two questions.
One question.
All right, let me pick a good one. Okay, where do you see the bottom, and how?
Where do I see it? It's not a great question. It's not a great question. I mean, what's the other question?
What is your go-to indicator? You are your number one indicator.
Oh, EMA 8.
All right. Okay. All right. No problem. Okay. All right.
So listen, where's the bottom? Look, the bottom is either here's two bottoms. I've been since March in Bitcoin Live, April on Twitter, talking about 12K.
That's exactly where I'm at. Yeah.
And like more over time, I started to believe it because it made sense and because the price got closer to it. But we have a low at 17K, 17.5. I could see a potential W or double bottom off 17.5 with a lower low. Because I'm trying to think of like the panic bottom we haven't had yet. We haven't had like the panic type bottom where everyone's quitting and calling it a scam and saying like, I'm out, this sucks. And we haven't had that. And so I'm thinking
Same shit. We get all the cycles.
Yeah, you've been around. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Have we had that yet?
No, and it's coming.
Did I miss it? Did I miss that? Like when it hasn't happened, right?
No, it's coming. It's coming.
That's why
And I
people
reckon it's
talk
gonna
about
be
crypto
150.
winter. People talk about crypto winter, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is not crypto winter.
No,
anyway,
that's right.
good. I'm glad. So
I think about
but let me get this
150
out.
days.
Let me get this out.
13K.
Look, but hold on. There's another scenario though. I could see a drop to like 17.5 and go sideways for a little bit and make people think really the bottom's in. And then over the period of 2 or 3 days, drop below 17K and then come right back up and recapture it.
Yeah, I mean, there's
So
going
a
to be
spring.
relief rallies.
No, I'm talking about two scenarios. I'm talking about either the 12K is likely, or we do a double bottom off 17.5 with the lower low in the second bottom. The stop loss hunt. The stop loss hunt off the first low. So I could see either of those things happening. All right?
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. I'm around the 12, 13 grand mark US. And I think from my analysis, probably around 150 days and we're going to be there.
150,000
That's just going on previous cycles. But
150 what? 150,000 what?
150 days from now.
Oh, I mean, who knows? Yeah, fair enough. Cycle theory is good. I don't really it's not something I would do, but I wouldn't say you're right or wrong. But hey, man, it's good to hear from you.
Yeah, lovely to speak to you, man. Take care, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's go with Dark Fire. What's up?
Hey, Chads, just wanted to drop by, say hi. Really good relative strength on EOS the last few days.
Yeah, it's
that thing's on
interesting.
fire.
Huh?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. I'm not much of a research guy. I don't believe in research. I 100% agree with you when you say these are all speculative trading vehicles. I'm just in it for the ride. I at the max, I'll probably just do maybe like 5 minutes of research when I just see a really strong uptrend. I'm just gonna be a little nosy, see kind of what's going on. I see they have their own. They're pretty much. I guess they took it back from Block One. They fired them, and they're gonna rebrand it and pretty much hard fork it. So I don't know.
None of that, Matt. That's just nonsense to me.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but hey, the price is finally moving, so I don't know. Maybe we get a nice move out of it. We closed above the 200-day moving average, so pretty much I'm just seeing if it drops down on the lower time frame just a little bit and see if we get a little bit of continuation and see how high we could go from here.
See, I see this and I'm looking to short it immediately. I see a really strong downtrend that just had a really nice bounce. So my instinct kicks. Let me see if where this is going to fail here. Likely. That's absolutely. I mean, we're bouncing right into the underside of the lost support. Look, you've got under the February March support, and we're right at the underside of the May support. It's a classic short, and you turn that above MA 200 into a deviation, and you have a potential up thrust as well off of the August 17th high. We already gave back a little bit in this most recent daily candle. I get the sentiment, but that's why I'm shorting, because people look at this and they want to FOMO into it. I'm like, wow, this is a downtrend. Like this I should really pay attention. This is like 80%. This is going to fail here.
For me, I'm just trying to be agile, trying to, maybe like I caught a little bit of the remaining up. I had attempted a few shorts earlier in the weekend when I saw I had gone up, and then I got stopped out of my shorts quickly, flipped long for a little bit. It was successful there, got a good like 20-30% out of it, and now I'm out of it. Now I'm just watching.
Is this the right climate to long this though? Even right? If this is like a
probably
risk
not.
on, so it's a probably not environment, and it's a downtrend that just bounced. So like, what should your instinct be in that environment? So we have to retrain our thinking as traders, and we have to be looking to fade moves. Right, we got to start fading these counter trend moves, fade these initial moves until proven otherwise. We always need to be grumpy and be like, we need to see more first. Show me more first, and it just works out pretty good.
All right. All right. Thank you.
I'm glad you stepped up. Thanks, man. Good to talk to you. All right. All right. Let's see. Mahir, I'll give you another shot. I had to remove you earlier for unmuting. Mahir Huncho, what's up, man?
Hey, Chaz, how's it going?
Nice to hear from you again. You got to let me do the unmuting, brother.
Oh,
what's that?
Maybe I unmuted on accident. My fault. Anyway.
Yeah, just don't touch it. Just don't touch it. Like I said, just let me. So what's up?
Yeah, sorry about that. So anyway, I remember you were saying you were neutral around 24K. And I was wondering if now you switched back to bearish and whatnot, and also what are the odds we hit 22.5 again?
What are the odds hit 22.5? Before what, like 18 or before 19?
Yeah, before 18, 19. Yeah, before we break that 25 area.
Wait, so what are the odds we hit 22.5? That's pretty close. It's only like $1,200 from here. What are the odds we hit 22.5 before, let's say, like 19.3? 30, 40%. I think it's more likely we don't.
Okay.
I think we're already just not a strong relief rally. It's just not Bitcoin's not a lot of kick to it. I put out a tweet where I was surprised. It looks like we're not even going to hit 22.5. I talked about it in Bitcoin Live on Sunday. I said we should probably bounce and test and underside reject at the key level we just lost. And it looks like it doesn't even have that power. So, I mean, on the other, it's just super easy to play, though. If you want a long, you just wait for it to test 18K, 18, 19K, or break 22.5. Like, you don't do anything here. You're crazy going long here. Because you have a reasonable level just above.
Well, I'm stuck in a long trade, and I'm trying to.
You're never stuck. You're never stuck. I don't want to hear that word on these spaces. There's no such thing as being stuck. You're simply choosing to remain with a failure.
Correct.
All right.
That makes sense. Yeah, I respect that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. That's a quote in my next book. Book 3's coming out. People say I'm stuck. I just nope. There's no such thing. You're never stuck. You're in control. You have to feel when you say you're stuck, you're giving up control to someone else, some other force. Oh, I'm not in control of my trading. I'm stuck. I can't do anything. A total nonsense. Luke Albrecht, what's up, Luke? Luke, folks, make sure you've accessed your microphone. I'm going to churn through. We have a good group of people waiting to speak. I'm going to churn through them. Luke, what's up?
What's up, man? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, man. So I was gonna ask you about I know you use a lot of the Japanese candlestick patterns, but do you do like technical patterns, like say ascending wedges or anything like that? Is that something you ever look at?
So when did you start following me?
Probably within the last 4 months. I've been in crypto since November 20.
All right. So I'm actually trained in Japanese candlesticks and classical charting. I blend a style of Eastern and Western technical analysis. I also did CMT level 1. So I know what's right, because you get a lot of word of mouth and patterns and stuff. So I've been able to blend it. I do a lot. I mean, I was just talking about an ascending triangle on Bitcoin, on Ethereum at the 1290 range that we broke out of. Talk about patterns. The thing is, actually, Japanese candlesticks, those are short-term patterns. I'm more just looking at candle wicks. We don't get too, we don't need to get too complicated. Is it a 3 black crows? Is it an evening star? Is it a morning star? By the time one of these 3 candle combos has completed, a lot of the, it's not the right time to enter. You're actually looking to enter on a retest. Like, for example, a hammer candle, right? You don't want to enter when the hammer candle closes. You want to enter when the price comes back and retests the middle to the bottom range of that hammer candle support range. So, these are short-term signals. These Japanese candlestick signals, horizontal levels are just what it's all about. That's classical charting. I did an interview with Peter Brand. He talks about the patterns he plays, and they're pretty much all just based ones that have clear horizontal levels. So I do play classical charting patterns. I love to play, for example, like a head and shoulders top invalidation, going long in a right shoulder invalidation, ascending triangles, understanding how to contextualize primary and secondary trend, understanding what a relief rally is, price movements against the broader trend. So it's that's why I recommend all of that stuff. If you look at the top, is it this tweet? Not this tweet, but if you look at my tweets, I've recommended some textbooks. That one for Eastern TA candlesticks, one for Western TA. I think it's important to kind of get all of that knowledge under your belt, and then kind of go from there. So yes, I definitely do.
Okay. So regarding those, I had a question about targeting like measured moves on them.
Yeah, height of the pattern. Usually it's the height of the pattern, like a rectangle or a double bottom. You just take the height from the peak to trough.
Okay. Yeah. So my current trade that I'm still in. I shorted Matic at about like $1.02.
$1.02. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and first take profit was 75 cents, but measured move puts me at like, well, look here a little bit. I want to make sure I'm doing
75 cents. Wow, you're at $1. Yeah, that's a nice level. It rejected there. You had the falling 200. Yeah, nice job, dude. That's a really nice entry at the up thrust of the July 31st high. Definitely.
That was exactly what made me short it, was that the up thrust there after just.
Good job. That's simple, and that's just a simple strategy. I'm surprised more people don't employ.
Yeah.
You have a clear validation, so good work.
Thank you, appreciate it. But my measure move puts me around like 45 cents for this like ascending triangle or ascending wedge that I have here, and I
45 cents.
Yeah, and I'm like, that seems
no,
far.
So you're not gonna punch right through 63, 64 cents.
Okay.
I mean, let's
far.
Well, that's where you have support there. I mean, so there's an understanding. Let's say you have a bull flag and the bull flag breaks out and you're trying to take your measure move the height of the flagpole. If you have a congestion area just above, you're not gonna just punch through it.
Okay.
Like you can't ignore, supply and demand, support and resistance. So focus more on that than a measured move. You really should just be like zone centric in your thinking.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Good stuff, man. Come back next time. Meriwether Lewis, good to see you again. What's up?
Hey, Chad, it's great to see you.
Hi.
I'd like to set some stink bids, kind of anticipating a black swan.
Yeah, low ball bid. Now we're talking.
Yeah, a la March 20. I didn't know if you had given that any thought and kind of had some like.
What do you mean? Give it any thought? You sound like you haven't read my book.
Man, juggling a lot of things. I'm sure you've got the
check out the free version on YouTube.
Okay.
I talk about low ball bids. There's like a chapter. It's called like like By the Blood or like Don't Panic. I spend I talk about this stuff all day. So you're asking me if I've ever thought about it. I'm like, brother,
I was saying that tongue in cheek, but someone who hasn't had the time here recently to go through all the fire you're putting out. What's the headline number? What are you looking at?
What, in terms of a low ball bid in like Bitcoin?
Yeah,
this is dynamic, man. If I just put one in, I'd probably like 14K, I guess.
Okay.
But it's not going to be a sharp bottom. It's going to be slow to form.
Have you gone back and back tested for March 20 and kind of identified the horizontal structure or whatever else would have been that support?
No, I'm trying not to do a fractal of like the percentage it moved down last time. It's got really not a lot of price structure between 20K and 14K, which is why I've been looking at 12 to 14 since March, April.
Yeah. Okay.
So you just got to stick with you got to try to not talk yourself out of what makes sense. And that's why it's hard. You're talking about low ball bid, right? So it's hard if something's say it's like a really bullish chart. It's trading at like $120, but like at $60 is a breakout level from last year. You can put a low ball bid, but let's say the market crashed and it was down at 60, you'd be scared to buy, even though you knew the week before it was a great level to buy. Do you know what I mean? It's so very easy to get carried up in the moment.
Yep. Yeah. No, I was my knees were knocking and shaking March 20, but I feel like I've got that confidence now in the coin.
Good for you, man.
All right. Appreciate you.
Okay, good for stepping up. Thanks for stepping up. Jay, what's going on? We got Jay in the house.
Hey, good evening, Chuds.
Good evening. Good evening.
Thank you so much for hosting these spaces, man. This is
thanks for hanging out.
An unconventional way of learning TA, but I've learned a lot from listening to these spaces. That's
awesome
for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I've seen a few tweets from you that attribute a certain percentage success rate for certain candlestick patterns or technical patterns.
Yeah, Bulkowski. Tom Bulkowski's got a book called The Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns. He's got a website called the Pattern. I think it's the Pattern site is the website.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was just looking for a source for that data construct so I could look into a little more. Could you repeat that one more time, please?
So you have his name is I think it's Thomas Bulkowski, and it's here's the easier one, the Pattern site.
Gotcha.
That will get you all hooked up, man.
All right, man. Thank you, Cheds. I appreciate
it. Cheers. Johnny Bags, what's going on?
Chad.
Yo.
Hey, man.
Hi.
Yet another one of your portfolio healing sessions, huh?
There you go.
It's so nice to talk to you, man. After all this time, I've been a Bitcoin Live member for so many months, and
good.
You could even say years, but yeah, I've been just kind of going back and forth with you with some stupid memes on Twitter about being bullish and all whatnot, but I've been out of the market since January, man, and a lot of these guys, I really appreciate that you are educating the right way, because there's so much misinformation out there. I've been in this space since 2015, and the information that's still being spewed out there just makes me sick to my stomach, man. And right now I'm traveling. I'm driving back to my hometown from Los Angeles. Believe it or not, I ran into so many bag holders because I'm doing a retro video game trading while I step away from the market for a while. And all these guys that I'm buying all these retro consoles from lately, they're all bag holders, man, and I feel so bad for them, and I'm trying to educate them the best way I can. So I just point them to you guys. You guys have helped me in the past, and I just wanted to say thank you, man. Truly appreciate you and Bob and Dean, all those guys at BTC Live. Fucking awesome information.
Johnny, it's great to hear from you. I'll mute you real quick just while I respond, just because of the background noise. First of all, retro video games awesome, and you feel bad for someone who they probably don't want to sell the console or whatever, but they have to. And I've been myself such a brutal bag holder, and I've ridden positions to zero, large positions to zero, and I've just destroyed many bank accounts, many trading accounts, and somehow I survived. And so that's why I do what I do. It helps me stay sharp, helping other people and continuing to train myself. But somehow I did get connected to Bitcoin Live, and that's it's just unbelievable. It could have been any other outfit, but Bob and Dean and even the other contributors, unbelievable. So incredibly proud of what we built, and it's just nice to be part of something you can be really proud of. So really, really happy to have you, and glad you stepped up, and great to hear from you, man. Thank you so much. Drive safe, brother. All right, William. What's up, William?
Hey, what's up, Cheds?
Hi.
Curious your thoughts on this aftermarket move for Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Aftermarket move. What do you mean? After what? There's no aftermarket.
Very, very true. Yeah, very true. And just the outlook going into the rest of the week here, and specifically on
22.5. Keep it simple, right? We don't need to overcomplicate. We had a small bounce on a 30-minute or 1 hour time frame, but we're trading below 22.5.
Yep.
It's a question of, are bulls even strong enough to test that level?
Right.
Okay. If that's your posture, and then we get there, you flip it, you say, okay, I'll go long here. I'll go long above 22.5 because I have a very clear invalidation level, below it, 22.3, something like that, something, reasonably close, but giving yourself a little bit of room to work with.
Yep. And what about Ethereum's relative strength?
Ethereum MA20.
Okay.
It's just got to get back up above the daily MA20.
Okay. Got it.
That's it. I'm gonna keep it simple, just for me.
Great.
I think it's probably gonna struggle a little bit here, but yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks for stepping up.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. All right, I'm gonna try to get through everybody who is asking to listen. Everyone who's listening and asking to speak on Big Cheds on Twitter, please consider subscribing. Please do go to YouTube, subscribe to Cheds Trading. That would make me happy. Thank you. Saiful Saeed, nice to see you. Saeed, what's up?
Can you hear me? Nice to see you too as well.
Hey, good to hear from you again. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm just asking to see because I'm looking to short BNB and Solana. BNB looks to me is forming a head and shoulder pattern.
Okay, BNB gave you a nice short off the 200 though, huh?
Yeah, something like that. I think
MA200. Yeah, the MA200. Okay, you want to short here? What? What's your invalidation? Head and shoulders. Yeah. Sure. So your stop loss is what? Like 305?
Yeah.
That's really reasonable. Incredibly reasonable.
Yeah, and
that's like a super low risk trade. That's very easy. I like it.
And Solana with EMA 8 rejection.
EMA 8. I mean, Solana's a dog for sure. BNB had some relative strength. Solana's not a good chart. Yeah, I mean, Solana's a little tougher. You're actually drifting towards support on Solana in the low 30s. Solana, I don't like Solana much. I think you're reaching there. I think you're really reaching in Solana. I mean, you're not clear. You're not close to rejection level. You don't have a clear invalidation. I don't like that trade.
Okay,
I'm not saying it won't go lower, but I just don't like the structure of it. If you compare it to BNB, I mean, you tell me which one of those trades is cleaner.
BNB is a lot cleaner because
so what are you doing? Don't dirty yourself with these other trades.
Okay.
All right. Come on, man. Come on. If you're smart enough to have this conversation with me, be selective. But the good opportunities will jump up and hit you in the face. Remember that.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. No problem.
Look, let me know how it goes, man. All right.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much.
Good job. Let's see. Fid Gel. What's up?
Hey, Chads.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Oh, just fine.
Okay, perfect. I'm here actually to talk for a different reason. I've got so there's this thing going on, this link about YouTube Uniswap make $1,000 overnight.
What?
With the I don't know if I've seen a reply you replied to.
Those are scams. Those are scams.
Yeah, and I was just wondering how exactly do you know it's a scam? So all the people
they're
don't
all
follow
scams
it.
because it replies. They're bots because they're. What do you mean? How do I know it's a scam? If it's not a scam, they wouldn't be messaging you it.
Okay, fair enough.
They don't need you if it's not a scam. What do they need you for? Like, why would they just tell you, "Hey, here's some free money"? That's not how it works.
But have you watched the YouTube video and looked at the contract yourself?
Is this a serious question?
Yeah, no, I'm not totally serious. I'm just really curious.
I with all respect, and I say this with love, I don't believe you that this is a serious question.
Okay.
Come on, brother. Like, it's not. No one's gonna walk. It just. I don't have much more other than it's definitely a scam. It's a scam. Okay. They make a new bot account every time you block them. They have a new bot account with 0 followers tweeting about it. Why would that be real?
But I'm not talking about the tweets. I'm actually talking about because I'm a programmer, so I've looked into the code.
Yeah.
Of the bot. So
look, I was pretty good at coding like when I was like whatever 11th grade, and then I did other stuff. So you're like 50 times the coder I am. So you're probably seeing something I'm not. So I can't what I mean. I can't tell you if what you're seeing is good or not. So I don't have much to say other than it's probably a scam. But maybe you're smart enough to figure out a way to do whatever you're doing. But I don't have much more for you on that. Okay.
Okay, that's good enough. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, man. There's all I'm raw. I'm real. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. By the way, Lib, I only bring people up once. So I see you requesting. I'm just gonna bring people up one at a time, only one time. So what's the cultural Bitcoin? What's going on?
Nice one. How you doing, Chads?
What's up? What's up?
Quick follow up on the 22.5 and the weak relief rally.
Yeah.
Any thoughts to potentially the market waiting for another Fed announcement? Any Fed meetings coming up that might be the catalyst for a 22.5 relief rally?
I don't really know enough about. I don't follow the Fed. I'm not a fundamental analyst.
Fair.
You're the wrong guy to ask.
Fair.
But you can ask me something else.
That's all I had. Appreciate it.
All right, man. I'm glad you stepped up anyway, man. I hope you do well.
Likewise. Thanks, man.
Cheers. All right. Let's see. Next up, we have Spinal Poeta. Spinal Poeta, folks. When I'm going to bring you up, let me control the mute. I just had someone unmute themselves several times. You're going to have to let me control that, please. Please pay attention to the instructions. Spinal Poeta, it is your time. I'll give you about a 5 count. And what's up, man?
Hey, can you hear me, brother?
Good to hear from you tonight. What's going on?
Chaz, man, you're one of the realest ones out here, man. Everybody else was on the moon boy bullshit, and you were just telling everybody things was going to tank, so I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate Easy T. Stop unmuting yourself, please. I appreciate you, Spinal, man. I appreciate that.
Crazy ass question for you, man. I longed Celsius at 60 cents.
What is that? What is it?
CEL.
Yeah, man, that's been a weird one. It's had some volatility. It looked good for a minute, and then,
it's looking horrible right now, but I took out my original investment, so I'm just riding out the moon bag.
It's not bad. I mean, it's still better. It's still better than most of the altcoins. Actually, it's just funny.
Wow, because the chart looks like shit right now.
Does it? It's at the 200, right? Most of these altcoins are nowhere near their daily MA 200. I mean, that's what a trend is: up or down to daily MA 200. So it's actually got relative strength. It still has relative strength, even though it dropped all the way down to like $1.70 from 440. It still looks better than like Sol. Like I was asking about Sol, it still looks better than probably 70% of the field, which is funny. It's above its daily MA 50. I mean, that's not bad. But I mean, it doesn't have much left in the it doesn't look bad area. It's let's see, once it gets below, I think about below 150, I'd probably stick a fork in it for the time being. What's up?
Oh, I think I lost you there. No, I was just asking, what's your feel from looking at the daily chart there?
Yeah, I was saying below 150, I think it starts to look a lot worse.
Yeah.
But I think as long as above 150, it's got a decent argument above the daily MA 50, close to the MA 200, above the highs, that recent highs from the July highs. I mean, above that, you still got an argument, really. So watch the July highs. As long as it stays above that, it still actually has some decent chart construction.
I appreciate it, brother. I'll keep you posted on it, man. There's a whole short squeeze movement going on, and it's been making sense to me so far, and I'm in a good position. So,
well, look,
yeah,
I appreciate that. I hope you do well.
For sure, brother. You take care, man.
Cheers. All right, let's see. Easy T, why don't you step up? Love to hear from you, Easy T. What's going on? And you can unmute yourself now, Easy T.
Hey, Cheds, how you doing, mate?
Good. What's up with you?
Hey, mate. Sorry about the mic. I misunderstood.
No problem. No problem.
I got it right now, mate. Quick question for you. I like the way that you direct speak and you call the shots, so it makes you authentic. So my question is, what are your odds that ETH outperforms BTC over the next 3 months?
I think it's better than 50%.
Mm-hmm.
It's still, even if the whole merge momentum's dead, the merge momentum itself will have a dead cat bounce. So I think if you look at the long term, Ethereum's been outperforming Bitcoin very much for the last couple of years, and so why would that trend not continue?
I just thought the hype around the merge, if something goes disastrously wrong, then
that's
take a mega hit.
We can only talk about maybe up until like a week, a week or a few days before it happens, and then I think from here until then, there's a decent chance that Ethereum has a little, another little bounce, but the fever's broken. It's funny on these spaces. I did, I think 3 spaces ago. I had Nakamoto Lisk as a guest host, and like probably 2 out of 3 out of 4 questions were about Ethereum. And there were one after another, people came up and said, I can't hold off any longer, I'm in. And that was the nut top. And it was a fascinating case study on like hive behavior, hive mentality, and like a live stream into FOMO. It was fascinating. And that was the talk.
I appreciate the input. So basically, wait. If you're smart, wait for it to hit the MA20 to go over.
Well, what do you want to do? You want to go long or short? Like, what do you
go long?
Do? Yeah, I mean above the 20, you can go long because you're long above the 20. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy
just
strategy.
Want to see if I can outperform Bitcoin. That's my main objective.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Chad.
Take care. Good to see you.
Tell
Easy.
me.
Astro X1.
Hello,
Yo.
Big Cheds.
Hi.
Hi. Good morning from Australia. How you going?
Good morning again, Australia.
Another
The
one.
dingo
Another
ate
one.
the dingo ate my baby.
I can't believe you know that one. Good one. Good one.
Good.
Hey, mate. I've got a question regarding taking profits. So it's obviously all down to strategy and knowing key levels when things break. But obviously, when you're trading low time frames, you're just getting chopped up to bits. It's kind of hard, but I mean, that's one of my worst enemies is taking profits. I've got a bad track record of getting really good trades and good entries and then stop at break even, get stopped pretty quick. Otherwise, if I don't, I get a really good trade, I get a really good profit, and then I just wait for it to bounce right back to me and take me out at a loss because I refuse to, like, I guess it's, refusing to believe that you're wrong and thinking, nah, it'll go back, and then I come out of it at a loss. So, when you say you've taken this trade from 25K, I got into a short. I got stopped out a few times, but I got back in at 24,850, got into a good short, taken profits. I'm like now trying to be a bit more religious about taking profits at any point because I don't know when to otherwise. So I took profits and closed it accidentally.
Why not? What about a trailing stop loss? Do you ever use those?
I don't. And then, obviously you got soft stops and the hard stops, but my issue is like knowing where to put it because anytime I put it somewhere, structure. I get stopped. And
price structure, 22.5. That's a big level. Ideally, I mean, you had a great entry, and we're now. It should have bounced off 22.5, and it didn't. So now,
straight through.
So you put your stop loss. For me though, I do multiple positions. I'm not taking one short from 25. I'm breaking it up into 4 or 5 positions. So I have 4 or 5 positions I'm managing with the same idea. And now I have those stop losses staggered from like 22.5 to 22.9.
When you say multiple trades, do you mean
literally
you took one trade, but you're breaking it up because of the stop losses?
Yeah, okay. That way you don't have to decide like all or none because it makes it like why make it such a hard decision to yourself? Like my entire position this or my entire position that. Like be more agile, be more tactile. And you can, and then, and even before it dropped below 22.5, you can move half the stop losses down into profit and leave the other ones to break even or whatever. It gives you more options. So you have to find ways to give yourself more options. Scale in, scale out, break up your position so you can have multiple entries. And great job in the entry. And the answer is focus on key levels. Focus on key levels. 22.5 is a big level. Focus on like your job as a technician is to identify the trend and understand what levels will suggest that trend strengthens or weakens. Yes. And so your trade entries and your trade kind of profit taking should be based on those levels.
Obviously, you're talking high time frames. So is there
daily?
Yep, cool. And then using your EMAs as well as the confluence of.
Have you seen my master class? Have you seen my YouTube master class yet? So I mean, you know my strategy, and more or less. Yeah, there you go.
In a nutshell. Okay, mate. Great. Thanks very much for your time.
Thanks for stepping up.
Have a good day.
Thank you, brother. Mate, thank you so much. What's up, Chad? Chad East, top Chad.
Hey there.
Yo.
There's been talk about ETH already, I understand, but the narrative really does seem to be going against the rest of the market. And
what do you mean?
The rest of the market's not going up as much as ETH is. It just seems to be like it's not in a bear, ETH. And I'm wondering how strong you think that narrative is, because I mean, once the merge does happen, ETH is going to be instantly more scarce.
I mean, look, who knows about the merge? I mean, let's not get. I think too many market participants are assuming too many things. I mean, you just in that statement, and maybe you're like gonna be right, but it seems like you've assumed a lot of things. Have you not?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've been following ETH for like 5 years. And
you know it like you know it 1,000 times better than I do. I have no doubt about that, right? but I know there's variables. All right, we both know that. And then there's price action, which is a reflection of the supply and demand, the interest in that. You have to just watch the price. I mean, it's hard for me to say that to a guy who knows Ethereum as well as you do. But like Ethereum's now, it just has to hold the MA20. It's below it right now. Who knows what's going to happen post merge? Who knows what's going to happen in the hype up to the post merge? You've got what is it? Headwinds with equities markets and the dollar rally and potentially a pause in broader equities markets. So it's not like a great environment for like a very hopeful Ethereum mindset.
I guess it just seems to me ETH is the only thing that's actually working kind of, on marching to its own drummer.
Are you worried about like potential too much centralization post merge? And
no, I guess I don't really. I'm not fearful at all about the merge.
All right.
I mean, they've gone through 4 or 5 test nets.
Yeah.
I mean, it's looking really good, and once it does, scarcity is going to be intense and fast.
So the market's going to price in all that. Like the market knows more than you or I. As much as you know, which is much more than me. The market knows more than you. So you just got to let the price tell us what to do. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, as of now, where are you looking to maybe buy into ETH? Or
if it gets above MA20 on the daily, I would go long.
Okay.
And because then I know I'm wrong when it's below the MA20, and I can just get out of the trade for a small loss, and then I'll reassess. And that's what it is. It's like you're a prospector and you're looking for oil in the ground. You keep testing. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
And then you ride it. Yep. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. AXG. What would you like to say?
Ches the goat. How are you, mate?
What is up?
Yeah, not much, man. Just working and grinding, trying to keep it up.
We're all grinding, man. It's all about the grind.
Perfect. That's amazing. And keep the positive vibes going, mate.
Thank you.
Sorry, I just wanted to ask you. I'm trying to enter a trade, right?
Yeah.
And in Bitcoin, and I've been reading the Peter's book, and I'm thinking of trying to apply the last day rule to this this entry as well.
Yeah.
So let's say Bitcoin. I'm talking about Bitcoin. So basically, I'm thinking of entering a short.
Okay.
And applying the last day rule as a stop, like to use it as a stop.
Yep.
Now I'm just a bit confused. The last day rule. So basically, is it when exactly like the last day before the breakout?
Correct.
Like when the wedge, like the rising wedge broke out. So that's the last day rule, the day before,
well,
right?
not from here. Not from here. You're already past. I mean, the train left that station. You're talking about executing the trade at the point of a chart breakdown. I mean, we're like past that. Are you talking about now or like what you would have done 7 days ago?
No, I'm thinking. No, I'm thinking of if Bitcoin go to 22.5, right?
Now, so then 22.5, your last day rule would be, would be the day before your entry. It's not about what happened in the wedge breakdown. Like that's already happened. Like that trade's already done.
So you're saying if I want to short Bitcoin at 22.5, let's say, and use the last day rule as a stop, is it like it's not the right to do?
It depends. No, I wouldn't. I would just say my stop loss is just like 22.6 or something right there, something very close to 22.5.
Okay.
I mean, you're stopping your stop loss is when your idea fails.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's your idea? Your idea is I'm short because I think it's not going to go above 22.5. Well, how do I know I'm wrong? It's above 22.5.
Yeah.
So we don't have to overcomplicate it as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So you would have used the last day rule exactly on that broke out.
No, I don't. I mean, I love Peter, and he's got like 40 years on me.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not trading. I'm already short way before the wedge breakdown. I'm short in the up thrust and the outside bar, and I'm ready for the divergence.
Like 24.8 or 25.
Yeah, I'm short from 25 flat, like off the opposite. So I mean, so that's that. Peter the goat. So let that clear. But anyway, that's what I would say, and it's great to hear from you. All right.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No worries.
So I'm gonna get through everybody. We don't have that many left, but I love hearing from you folks. Maybe we'll squeeze you in if you want to request to speak. I see a bunch of people who are just listening, And I want to say thank you. I appreciate you listening. It's a worldwide thing. We're all part of this community. I'm a chart nerd. I'm an author. I'm the author twice published. I published my cancer memoir, My Battles with Cancer. If any of you are fighting cancer, or if your loved one is fighting cancer, email that book for free. Just send me a tweet or email me at chedstrading@gmail. I'd love to just send you my cancer memoir. I was a caregiver and a patient. I'm also the author of Trading Wisdom, which has done really well. I'm super thankful for that. Audiobook, hardcover, paperback, and Kindle. And you can get it on Amazon or free on my YouTube, Ched's Trading. And I'm a founding analyst, Bitcoin Live with Peter Brandt. I've been doing market updates there for 4 years. It doesn't matter if I'm sick or I'm on vacation. I stop what I'm doing twice a week, and I give a market report. It helps keep me sharp. I think that's definitely contributed to my just being just doing well. So anyway, let's get to the next question. Bump, Dr. Bump, what is up?
Appreciate your time, Cheds. Quick question. I'm more of a holder, mainly of Bitcoin. I don't have the time to kind of daily trade like a lot of you guys do. I saw your tweet 2 days ago where it seemed like or your retweet, where you seem to be down on DCAing. I feel like that's probably the better play for me.
I'll talk about this. It's a great. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's interesting. Yeah. So,
I'm a believer in Bitcoin. I'd rather just accumulate because I believe it's ultimately going to go higher.
So here's what I would say. So the answer I gave back in, and thank you for stepping up and asking the question, by the way. The answer that I gave back in December is different than now, right? Well, I had a tweet where Michael Saylor announced that MicroStrategy was buying at like 54K, and I tweeted out, I said like verbatim, this recklessness makes me want to short MicroStrategy. And it was like the army of people came out and said, he's playing chess and you're playing checkers. You don't understand. It's dollar cost average. And I'm like, you're crazy. We just had a huge breakdown. All right. Fast forward, 200 weekly moving average. If you're dollar cost averaging there, I mean, okay. Like even a guy like me, who's just like telling you to ignore everything but the price. FA is irrelevant. Stop buying downtrends. Like 200 MA on the weekly, I get that. Like Bitcoin's probably not going away. So, like you can't go. I mean, dollar cost averaging here is different than when Michael Saylor was doing it at 54K when there was a clear breakdown, clear trend breakdown. Right. So, I'm going to answer that question different than someone who thinks that TA doesn't matter.
Sure. Yeah. Because I mean, I don't know if Bitcoin's totally bottomed, but obviously it's got to be close. I mean, it could certainly go lower, but I feel like starting to DCA now probably is not a bad move at this point.
I think it's a defensible move. It may turn out to
everybody
be bad.
suck my dick, bro.
Okay.
You fucking pedophile. I'm gonna expose you soon.
Thank you for stepping up. That was a great contribution. Yeah, I get people who want a dollar cost average at the MA 200, but you could look. Let's step through this. If you can see it, do you think it's reasonable that it could drop and test that 12 to 14K area?
Yeah, I mean, I think especially if the overall market tanks, in the next couple months, I could see it going even lower. So I mean, I'd want to put more in then certainly. But
yes, that's fair enough.
As a defense, just to accumulate a little bit every week from this point doesn't seem like a bad idea.
If you've got at least a 2 or 3 year horizon and you're buying at the weekly 200, I think that's a really solid bet.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, especially if I'm not in it every day and shorting and longing and go back and forth.
No, I told my cousin to buy. Actually, told my cousin to buy some every week, and she's got like a 9-to-5 job, and she knows I do this. And I was like, listen, you just like buy a little bit every week.
Yeah, that's basically where I'm at. I mean, I got a pretty intense job. I can't spend the time to be messing around with it that often. So I'm just trying to accumulate.
All right, man. Thanks for stepping up. It's good to hear from you tonight. All right.
Thanks.
Cheers. We're gonna get to the last of everyone who wants to speak. Payite, good to see you again. What's going on, Payite?
Hey, Cheds. Wondering if you can take a look at OP Optimism.
Are you down with OPP?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's right back at my entry after it dropping.
Oh, did you hear my joke? That was a naughty by nature.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Oh, my bad. All right. So
You know me.
OP. Sorry, it's like a dad joke, I guess, at this point, right?
Hey, you know me.
So you want to know about OP, right? So
Yeah.
you're long or what?
I'm long at the exact price it's at now after watching it go back down. It looks like it's hitting resistance on the 1 hour, touching it, 4 times in the last couple days.
Are you making a 1 hour trade?
No, just looking at the chart and looking like it's trying to break through.
You're trying to go long, right?
I am long.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of looks like bears have the edge right now in the daily chart.
Yeah.
It looks like it's, moving averages are crossing over. 8's across the 34. EMA 8's resistant. It's holding the MA 50. But I think it's a pretty reasonable chance it gets down to about 83 cents, 83 to 90 cents, just kind of based on momentum here. It had a really nice bounce, right? It bottomed in June and July, had a really nice bounce, right? And it bounced back up to that $2 range. Right, and then it kind of stalled, and now it's still consolidating from that move. It could pause, find support in the 80 to 90 cents range, and then continue higher potentially. But I think right now, it looks like bears have the edge to me.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about?
I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. What you have to do is decide when your idea is wrong. Have you figured that out yet? Like, what's your stop loss?
Yeah, well, didn't have one, wrote it down to 10% below. Now it's right back up to my entry and trying to figure out, do I get back at break even or hold on?
Just get out. Listen, if you're ever in this position, you're nowhere. What are we talking about? Every trade you make should be planned out ahead of time. It should be journaled, right? What your entry is, why you're entering, when you know your idea is going to fail. Unless this is money you literally don't need, like you can't be cavalier about it. Right? You're an intelligent person. I can hear that in your voice. Be methodical, have a plan, define your plan so you know when the idea fails.
All right, great.
Tough love, man. Good to hear from you.
Cheers, thanks.
All right, you're going to get tough love from me. It's no BS. I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. Strigoy. What's up, Strigoy?
Hey, Chad, how are you?
I'm good, friend. What's up with you?
So, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to talk. I've been in crypto since 2017 and I did great, but I found you out about 2-3 months ago.
Thanks.
And, no, thank you, because you share a lot of discipline through your knowledge, which is something in crypto we do need more. So thank you for that. Keep it up. And I have 3 quick questions which I wanted to ask. I'll be really quick. First of all, you mentioned the trailing stop loss, so I'm also
y'all
curious.
need to suck my dick. Where my mother?
Go ahead. What'd you say?
Yeah, I wanted to know what do you use for trailing stop loss? Which software specifically?
No, it's not software. I'm talking about conceptually. Trailing stop loss.
Oh, okay.
Moving your stop loss up or down based on the price structure, right? If you're long, every time the price breaks through a new level of resistance, you can move your stop loss up to just below that resistance, right?
Yes. Okay.
So, I don't have software recommendations or anything, and more of kind of generalized strategy.
Okay, because I looked for that 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I found one, but I wasn't sure it was reliable. It was more a sort of bot doing that for you. That's why I was asking you the question.
Okay,
and the second one is when you use the volume, how do you understand when the volume is meaningful? Like, for example, on each time frame, you can see the volume. When do you see, okay, this is going to push the trend or no? If there's a range or general rule.
Have you watched my YouTube videos yet? The webinar?
No, but I definitely will. I didn't yet.
That has all these are great questions. They're all answered for you in that video. I talked about volume, how to use it, when to use it. Volume is important. You want to see volume at the top and the bottom of the channel, representing a battle of momentum between bulls and bears, right? Trends will continue without volume because you don't need volume to continue in a trend. You already have an imbalance in supply and demand. You want volume on a breakout. You look for volume on key candlesticks. Go watch that video. It's got everything you want and more, okay?
Oh, definitely, 100%. And the very last question is, you're a TA guy, which my question is, I'm learning a lot of technical analysis from you. So my question is, how reliable is the technical analysis when you go to the smaller minor coins compared to Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin,
if it's volatility, it's fine. As long as there's volatility, as long as there's liquidity, it's fine. As long as there's an active market, doesn't matter.
Okay.
TA always works if there's an actively traded market.
Okay, great. Thank you for your time.
Because listen, the price either holds support or it doesn't. And that's all you're managing your risk on. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
you for your time. No, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. All right. That's great. Look, it's just me and you. We're hanging out. Hey, folks, just listening. Good to see you. Great to hear from you. Glad that we're all in this space together. Crypto Caniac, what is up? Crypto Caniac, just a few of you left. I'm going to wrap it up. It's been a fun spaces. I enjoy doing these. Crypto Caniac.
I'm sorry, I unmuted myself. Is that all right?
Yo. Yeah, good to hear. Yeah, go for it. Thank you. Go ahead. Please speak. We'd like to hear from you. Crypto Caniac. All right, Crypto Caniac, you can unmute yourself, brother. We'd like to hear from you.
I'm sorry. I thought you said to
earlier. That's earlier when I call you. It's your time to shine.
Okay. Hey, honestly, a lot of the questions I had have been answered, and I just want to say I appreciate everything you do for the community. And I really didn't have a question. I just wanted to say that I appreciate you and everything you do, and I've learned a lot. So
I appreciate
thanks,
you, man. You appreciate you. Without you, then what am I doing? So appreciate that. All right.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you, man. And I'll let you go on the next question.
Thank you. Thank you for stepping. All right, take care. We got Abel in the house. Abel.
Big Chads, what's up, brother?
How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I have a real quick intraday question on ETH. So I'm looking at the 2-hour chart on ETH.
Of the what? The 2 hour?
2 hour. 2 hour.
That's
yes.
style right there. You're going 2 hour. You've got some.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I just have a quick little intraday question. Does that last 2 hour close qualify as a spinning top doji?
Oh my gosh. Well, those are two different things. That's like saying, does it qualify as a pen pencil?
Yeah. You're right.
You can both write. They can write, but they're not the same thing. All right. A spinning top is a small real candle body. A doji is a neutral session. You never really get a true doji, but you can have up to 5% of the candle's range and still be qualified as a doji. And people get hung up on, is it a red doji or a green doji? That's like an oxymoron. It's just a doji. It's a neutral session. It's neither green or red. Spinning top indecision candles. Let's pull it up. 2 hour. I don't have that in my but I can. There we go. 2 hour.
Couldn't have a quick follow up.
Doji. It's a doji. It's a long neck doji.
Okay.
Yep, 100%. I mean, it's basically no body. It's basically a tiny body. It's basically a doji. I mean, like that's I'm pretty much a stickler. That's a doji.
Okay. The reason I ask is I'm kind of in the mindset of doing a short little intraday short. So
you should. This looks like a good spot for one on this time frame.
Yes. So my follow up question was this. I'm trying to find confluence. So I'm on the 15-minute. Is that?
Oh my God! What are you doing in the 15-minute?
Well. I'll tell you right now. So is that considered a rising wedge on the 15-minute?
Oh my God! It's a rounding top, right?
Rounding top. Okay.
I mean, but it's still bullish in a 15-minute. You're 15-minute. You're killing me. But
I know.
You're holding the EMA 8. I mean, you're holding primary uptrend support.
Yeah.
You still haven't violated EMA 8. You're still above, 1614, the low of the 0015 candle. All right, look, that's anyway. Look, good enough. Man, have fun with it. Either way, I love this. I love the space. Many ways.
All right, bro. So rounding top is what you're saying.
I mean, yeah, this is what it looks like potentially, but it's still above the EMA 8. I mean, it looks like it's rolling up and probably going to kind of, continue over. But maybe I'm only thinking that because I just saw the 2 hour. That looks like it could be setting up for an evening doji star. So I don't know. These lower time frames, it's like it's gambling. It's just straight up. So have fun with that. All right.
All right, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers. It is legit gambling. What's up, crypto buddy?
Hey.
What's up, man?
Hey, Chads. Love all your positivity. Thank you so much for the time. So I'm not really like a day trader or anything, but on BTC, looking at this last cycle, as we've topped, and obviously now we're starting to look for a bottom. You know, you mentioned, you know, you wouldn't dollar cost average where Michael Saylor was, but if you were to sort of say, you know, if you were going to dollar cost average into Bitcoin, you know, at any point now to go long till the next top, where would you sort of line up your dollar cost average?
Where am I, or where would I like generically, you know, advise? I mean, it's a different question.
Maybe where are you doing it? Well, if you were to look to enter to go long to the next top,
is that like if you as in you, Cheds, or if you as in like generic human or in market participant?
Generic human.
Look, I said earlier, like I understand people who want to buy at the 200 moving average, but I'm not buying here because it looks to me like it's going to like 12, 14K. You know, I'm going to start buying at 14K down, but I'm going to sell everything if it goes below 10K. Everything, all the Bitcoin I own will be sold because it will probably range then below 10K for 6 months, 12 months and be in real trouble.
You think there's some probability that ends up being the scenario?
At least 1 out of 8.
Yeah. So you're looking to begin potentially dollar cost averaging around 14, and then if you get to 10, you sell everything.
It depends. Not if we get to 10. It's kind of how it looks. It's always a game time decision. Have we had anything even remotely close to a sentiment bottom yet?
That doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, if you believe in the idea that we're sentimental creatures and these bottoms correspond, you gotta be ready for some more pain here. Just I don't know, and 12K makes a lot of sense, but that's a big. It really shouldn't break below 10. It really shouldn't.
So if let's say I got in around early 2018, not the greatest buy, but I held all the way to the bottom, all the way back up to the top, and I'm still holding.
Yeah.
Do you think? I mean, would this be a place to maybe hop out and
No, I
then,
can't help you
and
there.
then look?
I can't absolve you. I can just tell you that I think it's probably going lower. We just had a loss of market structure, 22.5. We had a rising wedge. We had a move, I believe. We had a really strong relief rally, I believe, backed by Ethereum. And we had major warning signs over the last 2 weeks. And now we're starting to get follow through on those cautionary signs. I think the price, even if bottoms in, the price needs to test 18, 19K in a healthy fashion. And I think sentiment's nowhere near bottom. And that's just kind of, I don't want, you know.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Cheds, I love you.
All right. I got to go. My wife's calling me, folks. I'm Big Cheds on Twitter. I am Cheds Trading on YouTube. I want to say thank you to everyone who listened, everyone who stepped up and asked questions. I love it. I love that we can just talk. Whoever, you know, worldwide, doesn't matter what's going on. I can hit a few buttons on my phone and get several hundred people hanging out with me. If you don't agree with me and stuff, that's great. I love that. That's why we have an active market. If we all agreed on the price, you know, it would never move. So I'd say embrace the price, embrace the debate. If I can help you in any way, check out my YouTube channel and subscribe to me and all that good stuff. Anyway, thank you, folks. It's been a lot of fun. And I'll probably do another one of these later this week. So Big Cheds out. That's right. Later this week is coming up. So probably the next 2 days, I will do another Spaces. Folks, thank you for listening to the replay. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoy every time I'm able to just stop and listen to you folks. Great times, great conversation. I learn a lot. Hopefully you are as well. So we'll talk again soon, folks. And thank you for watching on the replay. Take care. Bye.